Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mr. Silver and today I bring you a very different video from what I'm used to produce. So the Eurovision 2026 season has just started and it's already facing one of its biggest controversies in its history. With Israel's endless genocide in Gaza, several countries are threatening to boycott the contest if Israel is still participating. I guess that we all know that Eurovision is supposed to be a celebration of music, unity and culture, but politics have always found a way in. And this year, bigger than ever. I think that firstly it's important to remember and understand why Eurovision was founded. Back in 1956, just a decade after the Second World War, the European Broadcasting Union launched the Eurovision Song Contest as a way to bring countries together, not through politics or conflict, but through music. So the idea was actually simple. If these nations could sing along together, maybe they could understand each other better, celebrating diversity, promoting peace, giving every country a stage no matter its size, and creating a safe space where culture crosses borders. The past 2 years have been a little bit different regarding what Eurovision stands for with Israel's participation at the contest. With the ongoing genocide in Gaza and Israel's atrocities in innocent civilians, some broadcasters now believe that it's unacceptable for Israel to be part in this contest that actually promotes peace and unity all across the world. They are now refusing to participate in the contest if Israel is present. So yes, once again, Israel is the main problem for Eurovision next year. It's also important to say that another reason that many broadcasters are mad at Israel is because of their past behavior in the contest, especially in the last 2 editions. Basically, at Eurovision 2024, as we all know, there were several accusations of political messaging in their song Hurricane by Eden Golan, and also the government interference in the televoting. And as nothing happened, the same repeated this year in Eurovision 2025. So, according to the Dutch broadcaster, and I quote, "There is proven evidence of interference by the Israeli government during the most recent edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, in which the event was used as a political instrument." And guess what happened this year? Israel landslided the televoting, like, by far. What's even crazier is that the song barely got any attention by the charts, with entries like Hallucination and La Pop Montesson, which got a much lower televoting result, surpassing it by streams on Spotify. You can see that in August, Israel's entry was the 19th most streamed Eurovision song of the month. So this is a little bit weird, right? How would they win the televoting by such a high margin if the song isn't even appreciated by the fans? It's weird. It's definitely suspicious, and now it's confirmed by the Dutch broadcaster that the government really interfered with the voting. And despite all these controversies, Israel has been clear that it plans to participate in Eurovision next year. And as the Israeli broadcaster Kant states, Eurovision is a cultural event and not a political one, and Israel has the same right to be on stage as any other EBU member. And are the other countries doing what Israel is doing right now? I don't think so. And now let's give a checkup on who's actually threatening to withdraw. First, we have Slovenia, which was the first broadcaster to officially confirm that they will not participate in the contest if Israel is there. They announced that they cannot participate in Eurovision while Israel continues its military actions in Gaza, which are in contradiction with the values of peace and human dignity that Eurovision stands for. And recently, more broadcasters have joined the boycott of the contest if Israel is still in. We have Ireland that also said that given the ongoing humanitarian crisis and devastating loss of civilian life in Gaza, the targeting of journalists and the lack of media access, Ireland cannot compete in good conscience in Eurovision 2026 if Israel is allowed to compete. The Netherlands came up on Friday with a strong statement as well, saying that we can no longer justify Israel's participation in the current situation. The integrity of the contest is under pressure and the suffering in Gaza cannot be ignored. And as I said before, they also revealed that there was political interference in Eurovision last year with the Israeli government interfering in the voting process. And this one is not confirmed yet but could be insane, which is Spain. And their cultural minister appealed for their withdrawal if Israel is present. However, RTVE didn't confirm any final decision yet. Another country potentially joining the boycott is Iceland. The Icelandic broadcaster claims that their participation is currently under review with the EBU and depending on what they will decide in December. So what could it mean if all these countries pull out if Israel still participates? This could actually go extremely wrong. And there could be more countries adding to this list like Belgium, Portugal, Finland, and some others. And with all these countries withdrawing, what could happen? We would lose one of the semifinals of the contest. So we would have probably just one semifinal and a grand final, which would definitely make the contest feel smaller, less competitive, and far less inclusive. And on the top of that, the Eurovision reputation, which has been very damaged in the past 2 years, would be even more damaged. So imagine that the contest that presented itself in the past years as a contest that promotes peace, unity, and a celebration of culture suddenly facing this wave of withdrawals because of Israel. And on the other hand, and I took this from the British edition of Telegraph, we have some other countries supporting the participation and inclusion of Israel in the contest. So they stated, according to a member of Israel's delegation, that Austria, Azerbaijan, Cyprus, Greece, Switzerland, adding up to Italy and Germany, will support the inclusion of Israel in next year's edition. Would this mean that they would withdraw if Israel doesn't compete? No. This means that they will be supporting at the assembly that will happen in December at the EBU, the inclusion of Israel at the contest next year. And some other broadcasters are also in talks with the EBU regarding this topic, like Portugal, Finland, Denmark, and many others that are not still sure about what they will do. But again, these are talks that are happening at the moment. So the EBU is in touch with each broadcasting member, and they will come up with a final decision on the first days of December, December 3rd and December 4th. And then they will announce their final decision. So all the broadcasters will have until mid-December to make a final decision on their participation in Eurovision next year, and a voting regarding Israel's participation could also happen on the EBU's General Assembly in December. And it's also important to say that Martin Green, the current director of Eurovision, has stated that it's up to each member to decide if they want to take part in the contest or not, and we will respect any decision that the broadcasters make. So what are the possible outcomes for this? In one hand, if Israel stays and many broadcasters leave, we could risk to have one of the worst Eurovision editions and maybe the last one. And on the other hand, Israel would be excluded and everyone else would participate. So I guess that this decision is not really hard to do. So the EBU should just take the easy choice. So here we are, either Israel will be banned and everyone will get a puppy, or Israel will participate and everyone will withdraw. Not everyone, but many broadcasters, which would definitely damage the reputation of Eurovision. And I want to hear about you. What do you think about all this situation and all this mess? All the drama is already happening at Eurovision 2026 season. Tell me everything here in the comments below. And if you ask me about what I think, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Like, the EBU proved us in the past years that they are really sided with Israel. But would this mean that they will lose 5 countries or more for Israel? I really don't know. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, but I want to believe that they will just finally ban them. It's about time, right? So yeah, these are the news for now. Don't forget to comment your opinions, as I said before, and subscribe my channel. I know that I didn't make videos for a long time, but I'll be back now that Eurovision 2025 season is starting. But I'll see you around, and you can also check my community posts. I'm posting all the updates there. So yeah, make sure to subscribe my channel, like the video, and share this with your friends. I'll be back with more information as soon as possible. And yeah, bye.